Have you ever felt stuck in an emotional loop that you couldn't get out of? You're not the only one who has. A lot of people have trouble letting go because they feel helpless and trapped in their feelings. There is hope that change is not only possible, but also within your reach. This idea comes from the timeless knowledge of Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca. This video will show you 10 strong Stoic principles that will help you mentally separate from someone. Why is detachment so important? Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Detachment doesn't mean being cold or uncaring. It means finding strength and clarity within yourself. In this video, we'll look at deep Stoic principles that can help you achieve emotional freedom. By making these habits a part of your daily life, you will learn useful and healthy ways to break free from emotional attachments, giving you back your peace of mind and ability to concentrate. Focus on what's important. Picture letting go of the mental chains that hold you back and enjoying a newfound sense of clarity and focus. Stoic teachings will help you deal with your feelings in a strong and smart way. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By applying these teachings, you will learn to put your inner peace ahead of outside events. Are you ready to break free from the chains of emotional attachment and embrace the power of personal growth? If so, this video is for you. We'll show you 10 Stoic habits that will change the way you deal with your emotions. First, let's ask ourselves, what is important in our lives if not having peace of mind? Come with us as we look at these rules. Building the path to a free Stoic attitude. If you liked this video and found it useful, please click subscribe and join our Stoic Quotes 365 community to get more interesting material. Let us know what you think. If you don't know what to say, just type emotional in the box below. The journey to emotional freedom has begun. Let's jump in and start this path together. Rule number 1. The power of one. The power of being separate. Getting away. Have you ever felt like someone else was controlling your emotions? This is where the power of detachment comes in. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you start living a life where your peace and happiness aren't controlled by outside factors. To understand why detachment is so powerful, think about what Epictetus said. We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgments about them. Detachment means taking back control of your life by realizing that you can't change the outside world, but you can change how you react to it. If we hold on too tightly to people or situations, they start to control us. It's like giving them the remote to your emotions and letting them change the channels whenever they want. In the worst cases, their influence can make you happy or sad and force you to make decisions that you can't change. Detachment means taking back control of your emotions and choosing which channels to watch. Think of your emotions as strings on a kite. Each string attached to something or someone represents a possible direction your emotions can be pulled. If you hold on to too many strings or one too tightly, you're at the mercy of the wind. Stoicism teaches us to let go and know that we can't change the wind, but we can choose which strings to hold. This way of thinking doesn't make you cold or uncaring. It makes you strong and grounded. Let's start practicing. First, figure out what or who you're too tied to. Are you looking for approval, afraid of being alone, or something else? The first step to freeing yourself from an attachment is to understand where it comes from. For example, a friend of mine is always worrying about what other people think at work because they don't want to be judged. Once they realized how attached they were to other people's opinions, they started to focus on their own values and standards, which helped them find inner peace. Do things that give you a sense of purpose and satisfaction. By focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't, you start to anchor yourself in your own strength and values. When you practice detachment, you start to see things differently because you realize that your worth is not based on outside circumstances, but on what you are and will always be. This realization gives you the power to move forward with clarity and confidence, free from the mental chains of attachment. Remember that Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." By practicing detachment, you are not withdrawing from life, but engaging with it more fully with a clear mind and a steady heart. Adopt this Stoic principle, and you'll find that your inner strength and peace grow, allowing you to handle life's challenges with grace and resilience. Rule number 2. Know your connection. Have you ever thought about why we cling so much? 2. Getting to know bond. What makes us want to hold on so tight to people or things that hurt us, even when it's hard? How can we break free from this need to hold on? To reach emotional detachment and personal freedom, it's important to understand attachment. Let's take a closer look at this idea, using the ideas of the Stoic thinkers to help us. Attachment comes from our ego at its core. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, once said that wealth is not having many things, but having few wants. This knowledge shows what attachment is really about, our wants and needs. When we're attached to something or someone, we often do so because we're looking for approval, safety, or a sense of who we are from outside sources. Think of a newborn baby that is filled with joy and hasn't been affected by the difficulties of ego. As we get older, our ego takes over and fills our lives with attachments, whether they are to people, things, or ideas. These attachments cloud our judgment and keep us from our real essence, which is love and self-contentment. If you've ever felt like someone else's approval or presence made you happy, that's a clear sign of an ego-driven attachment. To start freeing ourselves from these attachments, we must first see them for what they are, products of our egos looking for security and validation. Ask yourself, why am I so attached to this person or outcome? What fear or desire is driving this attachment? The first step to freeing yourself from a bond is to understand where it comes from. Think about a coworker who was obsessed with getting praise all the time. Once they realized how attached they were to external validation, they started to focus on their own growth and self-approval, which led to a deeper sense of peace. Now imagine living your life from a place of love instead of ego. What if you could trust in the abundance of the universe, believing that what's meant for you will find its way? This is a powerful shift in mindset. It means recognizing your inherent worth and abilities, independent of external factors. As you start to see your desires and connections through this lens, you'll start to see how much weight they add to your life. Adopting the idea of abundance is important. When you let go of the fear of loss, the universe often rewards you with more than what you let go of. Detachment doesn't mean you care less. It means you understand better. It means staying true to your essence and letting love guide you instead of fear. Detachment changes things. It's about shedding layers of ego to reveal the strong, loving soul beneath. It's about moving forward with ease, free from the weight of attachment, and ready to receive new blessings with open arms and a steady heart. By putting your inner peace ahead of external approval, you create the conditions for a life of TR through emotional freedom and fulfillment. Think about how freeing it is to stop looking for praise from other people and instead find it within yourself. This change not only brings peace to your inner being, but it also brings you real connections and chances. As the wise Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Accept detachment not as a withdrawal from life, but as a way to engage with it more fully with a clear mind and a steady heart. This will help you to live an honest life based on your own strengths and values, ready to face life's challenges with grace and strength. Rule number 3, the fantasy of 3, the idea of being in charge. In charge. Have you ever felt like someone else's actions or approval made you happy? Do you sometimes think that if you try hard enough, you can control how your relationships and feelings turn out? It's a common mistake to think that we have control over our lives. Recognizing and getting rid of this myth is key to emotional detachment and personal freedom. Our ego often makes us believe that we can control outside events and how other people react to them. This false belief makes us put too much stock in how other people see us, which can make us emotionally clingy and dependent. The wise Stoic philosopher Epictetus said that what counts is not what happens to you, but how you deal with it. This saying highlights a fundamental Stoic principle. While we cannot control external events, we can control our responses to them. When we cling to the illusion of control, we may find ourselves idolizing individuals and placing them on pedestals, believing that our worth is tied to their approval. This mindset creates a distorted perception of reality, where we see others as possessing something unattainable. Yet when we strip away these illusions, we realize that everyone is equally human, equally vulnerable. No one holds a special ticket that makes them inherently superior or more worthy. To dismantle this illusion, start by acknowledging that much of what we believe we can control is in fact beyond our influence. This realization can be both humbling and liberating. Accepting that we cannot control others' actions or feelings allows us to focus on what we can control: our own thoughts, reactions, and personal growth. By shifting our focus inward, we build self-confidence and resilience. For instance, instead of seeking validation from others, practice self-affirmation. Often tell yourself of the unique things that make you special. Know that your worth doesn't rely on how other people see you. This practice fits with another Stoic idea from Marcus Aurelius. You control your mind, not what happens in the outside world. Understand this, and you'll be strong. Adopting an attitude of wealth is another good way to do things. Realize that the universe is big, and there is plenty of love, success, and happiness to go around. When you stop worrying about losing a certain person or outcome, you open yourself up to a world of new relationships and possibilities. This knowledge lets you love without becoming overly attached, and it gives you the power to value connections while still feeling independent and like you have worth. Take a friend who is always worried about what their partner will think as an example of someone who should internalize these Stoic ideals. They learn to find approval in themselves instead of their partner. This change not only made their relationship better, but it also made them stronger emotionally. Remember that practicing emotional detachment doesn't mean becoming uncaring. It means realizing that your happiness doesn't depend on other people being there. By embracing these Stoic principles, you build up a deep emotional strength that makes you ready to handle life's risks with confidence. Grace. Give up the false idea that you are in charge and accept the freeing truth that your real power lies within your own mind. Practicing and being detached. Have you ever been stuck on old memories or relationships and couldn't let go? It's normal to want to let go and wonder what might happen if you did. It hurts to hold on to something so tightly that you're afraid to let go. But what if letting go could lead to something even better? Let's look at some ways to use detachment. Building on the ideas of the Stoic philosopher Athenian, he said that wealth is not having many things, but having few wants. When it comes to mental attachment, this rule works just fine. Are you ready to let go of the past and make room for new possibilities? Imagine that your hands are hurting from holding on so tight to a rope. You're afraid to let go because you don't know what will happen. Letting go doesn't always mean you'll fall, but it does sometimes mean you can finally stretch your hands out and reach for something even better. When I stuck to a safe relationship because it felt good, I didn't realize I was blocking out possible happiness that was knocking on my door. I had to learn this the hard way. How many times have you done the same thing because you were afraid to let go of what you knew, because you didn't know what would happen? Here's another truth bomb. FOMO, fear of missing out, is a trick. It's like scrolling through social media and seeing everyone else's highlight reel. You feel like you're missing out on life, but remember that social media is just a carefully chosen and edited picture of the perfect moment. After going through everyone else's stories for a while, living my own FOMO lost its hold on me. If you're always comparing your life to other people's, it's time to break the loop. It's okay to not know everything about someone else's life. It means you're fully present in your own, making memories that are unique to you. Holding on to a false image of happiness can make letting go seem impossible. You see other people living their best life and worry that you're falling behind. But remember that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Generating the illusion of perfection in someone else's life steals your own. No matter how fast you go on a machine trying to catch up to a hologram, you'll never get there because it's not real. The same goes for joy from your own. Detachment doesn't mean giving up happiness. It means defining it on your own terms. To mentally detach, focus on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and growth. It feels good to know that no one's opinion, old relationship, or even a perfectly filtered social media life can change your worth or your happiness. This realization is your shield that protects you from unnecessary ties that hold you back. You should be able to enjoy life as it comes and be open to the real, satisfying ties that are just around the corner. Don't forget that letting go isn't the end. It's a brave move towards the life you deserve. Accept this way of thinking and watch as your world changes, revealing joys and opportunities you never thought possible. Rule number 5. The road to happiness. Have you ever thought about why true happiness often seems just out of reach, tied to the whims of other people or outside circumstances? What if the key to lasting happiness is inside you, completely separate from what other people think? In this part, we'll talk about the Stoic way to happiness and how mental detachment can help you be stronger. Brant Joy, where does true value come from? This is a question that, when answered, can help us let go of things that are holding us back and move towards emotional freedom. As Epictetus wisely put it, wealth is not having lots of things, but having few wants. This deep insight tells us to look inside ourselves instead of outside sources for our happiness and sense of worth. This is especially important when we need to break up with someone. It's not about cutting ties with malice or indifference, but about realizing that the deepest relationship you'll ever have is with yourself. It turns out that your true value comes from your character, your intelligence, and how you treat other people. How often do we wrongly think that our happiness depends on someone else being in our lives, that our worth goes up or down depending on their approval? This way of thinking limits our emotional freedom, like a bird thinking it needs permission to fly. Instead, picture realizing that the sky has always been open for you to spread your wings however you want. Being self-reliant is freeing because it teaches us that our worth doesn't change based on other people's thoughts or actions. So detachment isn't about pushing someone away, it's about getting closer to our essence by focusing on personal growth and becoming the best versions of ourselves. This frees us from the heavy weight of neediness. It's like taking care of a garden. You wouldn't beg a flower to grow. You'd water the plants and tend to the soil. If you want to improve yourself, trust that the process will work itself out. We grow a garden that blooms no matter who walks through it or admires its beauty. This care becomes a source of happiness that is self-sufficient, strong, and deeply satisfying. How do we walk this path of feeling? Detachment starts with realizing that you are whole, with or without someone else's approval. Your journey is about finding the vast stretches of your own sky, learning to love the freedom that comes with flying alone when you need to. Accept the truth of Stoicism. Pay attention to the things you can change, like your thoughts, deeds, or growth. To do this, you don't have to close your heart or ignore love and relationship. You just have to ground your emotions in the solidity of who you are. Remember that your self-worth isn't a puzzle that's missing someone else's piece. It's a work of art that's only half done and is still open to more beauty from the world. Think about a friend who was always looking for approval from their partner because they thought their happiness depended on it. When they turned their attention inward and focused on personal growth, they found a deep sense of self-worth and happiness that weren't based on anyone else's opinion. This change not only made their relationship stronger, but it also made them more resilient and content as you walk this path. Know that letting go isn't the end. Taking care of your inner garden is a brave step towards the life you deserve. You'll discover that real happiness is not only possible, but also a part of who you are. Accept this trip, and you will see how it changes your life and brings you closer to a place of true emotional freedom and fulfillment. Rule number 6. Embrace the present moment. Do you often get stuck in memories of the past or worries about the future? Embracing the present moment is a powerful way to emotionally detach and find peace within yourself. This practice comes from Stoic philosophy and tells us to live fully in the present, appreciating what is happening now instead of being consumed by what has been or what might be. Marcus Aurelius, a famous Stoic philosopher, said, "Consider yourself in the present." This quote captures the heart of Stoic wisdom, how important it is to live in the present. When you think about the past too much, you might remember sad events or hold on to things that don't exist anymore. When you worry about the future, you often cause needless stress over things that haven't happened yet and might never happen. Both of these habits can keep you from enjoying the present. Mindfulness is a good way to stop worrying and enjoy the present. Mindfulness means paying close attention to the present moment without judging it. It means giving your full attention to whatever you're doing, whether it's eating, walking, talking, or anything else. By really getting into these things, you can enjoy the taste of the food, the feel of the ground under your feet, and the tone of the other person's voice. Getting grounded in the present can help you let go of attachments to the past or the future. Take the example of a friend who was always worried about future job opportunities and missing out on the fun of their current job. By practicing mindfulness, they learned to value the skills they were learning and the relationships they were making, which led to them being happier in their current situation. Being more present can be greatly improved by doing mindful activities. For example, meditation trains your mind to focus on the present moment. Even simple breathing exercises can help you return to the present moment. If you can spare a few minutes a day for these activities, you'll find that your mistakes don't bother you as much over time. Living in the present also means being thankful for what you have right now. Focusing on what you have instead of what you don't have can change your perspective, making it easier to let go of things that are holding you back. Think about how a daily practice of gratitude changed a friend's outlook, helping them see the beauty in their everyday life and lowering their stress about the unknown future. By embracing the present moment, you build a foundation of emotional stability and clarity. This practice helps you deal with the problems you face in life with a clear head, so you can enjoy it more fully and happily. Imagine how free you'll feel when you let go of the worries and responsibilities of the past and the future. When you do this, you let each moment unfold fully, creating a stronger bond with yourself and the world around you. Follow the advice of Stoicism and concentrate on what you can change: your thoughts, your deeds, and your growth. It doesn't mean forgetting about the past or not making plans for the future. It means focusing on the present, which is where true happiness and peace are found. Remember that each moment is a gift, and by living it fully, you open the door to a fuller, more satisfying life. Rule number 7. Change the way you think about things. If you want to be emotionally detached, you can change the way you think about things. This can help you break free from negative thought patterns and emotional dependence. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." By changing your thoughts, you can change your emotions and your overall view of life. To start, figure out the negative thoughts that keep you attached. These could be beliefs like, "I can't live without this person," "I'll never find someone else," or "my happiness depends on them." These kinds of thoughts make you feel helpless and dependent on the other person. The first step to changing these habits is to become aware of them. Question these ideas by asking if they are true. When you have a negative thought, ask yourself, "Is this thought absolutely true? What evidence do I have to support this belief?" Often, you'll find that these thoughts aren't as strong as you thought they were. One friend thought they couldn't be happy without their ex-partner. When they questioned and analyzed this belief, they realized they had found happiness and fulfillment in other areas of their life and could do so again. Once you've found and challenged your negative thoughts, replace them with positive or neutral ones. For example, instead of "I can't live without this person," say, "I am capable of finding happiness and fulfillment on my own." Change. There are lots of chances to love and connect with people in the future, and I'll never find someone else. These new thoughts should show a more balanced and empowering view to help them stick. Use mantras every day. Writing down positive things about yourself and your ability to do well on your own, and reading them out loud every day can help change the way your brain works so that you use a more positive outlet. A co-worker who started this practice said it made them feel more confident and less reliant on other people for approval, which led to a better sense of self-worth. Besides that, mindfulness methods like meditation can help you change the way you think. Mindfulness makes you aware of your thought patterns without judging them, which lets you change them more easily. For example, a friend who meditated every day found that they could better spot and stop negative thought loops, taking their place with more positive thoughts. Reframing your thoughts is an ongoing process that you do by questioning and changing your negative views over and over again. You become more emotionally strong and have more control over how you respond. This change in thought gives you a sense of inner strength and detachment, which lets you move forward with confidence and clarity. Think of your mind as a garden. You can take care of your mental garden by regularly pulling out weeds and planting healthy plants. Negative thoughts are like weeds that stop healthy plants from growing. You create a healthy, thriving place that helps your well-being. Changing the way you think about things on a regular basis fits with the Stoic idea of focusing on what you can control, like your thoughts and deeds. Adopt this Stoic wisdom and make an effort to change the way you think. Over time, you'll notice that your emotions become more stable, your sense of self grows stronger, and you'll be able to handle life's difficulties with grace and calm. Change the color of your thoughts to change the fabric of your soul. This will lead to a life with more peace and happiness. Rule number 8. Do you find it hard to say no or set limits with other people? It's important for emotional detachment to set healthy boundaries. Boundaries protect your health and give you power over your emotional space. Figure out what behaviors are okay and not okay, and make sure others understand by staying within your own boundaries. When you set boundaries, you make it clear where you end and someone else's starts. This helps you feel better about your own worth and less dependent on other people for approval or happiness. This practice helps keep your emotions in check and gives you a sense of independence. For example, if someone's behavior is making you feel stressed, calmly but firmly tell them you need space or a change in how you interact with them. This isn't about pushing them away. It's about protecting your mental and emotional health as you set these limits. It's important to remember that setting boundaries shows others that you respect yourself and your wants over time. Setting boundaries helps you build healthier relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. It's also a proactive step towards mental independence that keeps your peace of mind from depending on what other people do or think. One friend had a hard time saying no to extra work because they were afraid of what their co-workers would think. By setting clear limits on their workload, they were able to lower their stress and do a better job, earning respect from their co-workers in the process. By setting and sticking to healthy limits, you create a safe emotional space where you can. Focusing on your own growth and well-being will help you feel better about yourself and improve your overall quality of life. For example, a co-worker set limits with a demanding friend. At first, they were afraid that it would hurt their relationship, but over time, they found that the friend respected their limits, which led to a more balanced and fulfilling connection. Think of your private area as a garden. Limits are the fences that keep other people from trampling on your garden. Without these fences, your garden could get overrun, leaving you feeling stressed and drained. With limits in place, you can care for your garden and let it grow on its own. Adopt this Stoic principle by realizing how important it is to set limits. It's not selfish. It's an act of self-preservation and respect. By doing this, you create a life where your emotional health is protected and your relationships are based on mutual respect. This practice not only makes you more emotionally strong, but it also lets you connect with others in a healthier, more meaningful way. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Setting limits is an important part of taking charge of your own life. By clearly defining and protecting your emotional space, you open the way for a life of greater peace, independence, and fulfillment. Rule 9. Do something nice for yourself. When was the last time you did something just for you? Self-care is important for emotional detachment and building a strong, independent life. Seneca believed in the importance of personal well-being, saying that a sound mind and a sound body is a short but complete description of happiness in this world. Self-care means making time for activities that nourish your body, mind, and spirit. For example, exercise not only makes you healthier, but also makes your mood better by releasing endorphins. A friend of mine started running and found it hard at first, but found that it made them feel more energetic and less stressed over time. This simple act of self-care changed their outlook and made them less dependent on approval from other people to be happy. Meditation and awareness help you focus your thoughts and lower your stress, which leads to mental clarity and emotional stability. Think about a coworker who was stressed out at work. By starting a daily meditation habit, they were able to deal with stress better. Finding peace in the middle of chaos through hobbies and interests is an important part of self-care. Whether it's painting, reading, gardening, or playing an instrument, these activities bring you joy and make you less dependent on other people for happiness. Think about a neighbor who rediscovers their love for painting. This hobby brought them a lot of happiness and pleasure, and it helped them build a life that wasn't based on what other people thought of them. Spending valuable time with loved ones who support and encourage you also boosts your sense of community and belonging. Think about what would happen if a family member made it a point to get together with close friends once a week. These ties made them stronger emotionally and gave them a strong network of support. Self-care means making sure you have a balanced life that supports your health. When you take care of yourself, you build a strong foundation that lets you face life's challenges with confidence. It also lets you emotionally distance yourself from others, not out of coldness, but from a place of inner strength and self-assuredness. For example, a co-worker who regularly made time for personal hobbies and physical activity was able to handle professional setbacks with grace and resilience because they had a well-rounded life that gave them many sources of joy and fulfillment. Putting yourself first is an important part of living a happy, independent life. Make time for activities that feed your body, mind, and spirit. By doing this, you build a life where your health and happiness are paramount, which gives you the confidence to face the world with strength. Focusing on what you can control, like your actions, thoughts, and your health, is in line with the Stone principle. As you start this road, remember that self-care is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the foundation of a strong, independent person. By taking care of yourself, you can find more inner peace and happiness, which will help you do well no matter what happens in the outside world. Rule 10. Show gratitude. Have you ever noticed that thinking about what you don't have makes you feel closer to what you do have? Showing gratitude can really change the way you see things. By consciously recognizing and appreciating the good things in your life, you create a mindset of abundance instead of scarcity, which can help you emotionally separate from someone. Practicing gratitude can help you see the value in the things you already have, which makes you less interested in what you think you're missing. For example, every day write down 3 things you're thankful for. These can be as easy as a sunny day, a friend who is there for you, or a good meal. This practice shifts your attention from what's missing to what's already there and good in your life. Epictetus said, "Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for." This wise advice reminds us to enjoy what we have now instead of dwelling on what we don't have. Think about the story of a friend who was heartbroken after a breakup. They started writing in a gratitude journal every day, and over time they started to focus on the many good things in their life, like their health, their hobbies, and the support of their family and friends. This simple habit helped them heal and find joy again. Being grateful makes you feel better emotionally and protects you from the pain of detachment. If you make it a habit to be grateful, it will be easier to let go of ties that don't serve you anymore. Creating a more peaceful and happy life by thinking about a co-worker who wasn't happy with their job and what they were thankful for, like chances to learn and grow. Help from co-workers. They changed how they saw things and found new drive. Being grateful isn't just about noticing and appreciating the big things that happen in your life. It's also about noticing and appreciating the little things that happen every day that make you happy and fulfilled. This shift in focus from lack to abundance can have big effects on your mental and emotional health. For example, a friend who had envy would constantly compare themselves to other people on social media. By practicing gratitude, they started to see and appreciate the unique things about their own life, which made them feel better about themselves and lessen their feelings of not being good enough. Adopt this Stoic concept and remember that being grateful is a powerful way to build a strong and positive mind. It helps you see how rich your life is and find happiness in the present. Being thankful every day makes you stronger emotionally, which makes it easier to let go of things that don't serve you anymore and focus on what does. Become more grateful by stopping every day to think about what you're thankful for. Practicing gratitude not only makes you feel better, but it also brings you inner peace and satisfaction. As you make it a habit, you'll find more joy and be better able to handle life's challenges. Grace and strength. Accept this practice and let gratitude keep you in the present, letting go of the past and looking forward to the future with hope and optimism. As we explore the wisdom of Stoic philosophy, embracing ideas like detachment, gratitude, and self-care, we unlock the potential for a more resilient and fulfilling life. By setting healthy boundaries, reframing our thoughts, and living in the present moment, we build a foundation of inner strength and independence. Remember that emotional freedom isn't about cutting ties with people or not caring about them. It's about living a balanced, self-assured life where your happiness comes from within. We hope these 10 rules have given you useful information and actionable steps to help you live a happier, more peaceful life. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and click the bell icon to never miss an update. Also, please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear how these principles are making a difference in your life. Thanks for watching. Stay strong, be aware, and know that you have the power to find true happiness. Help from co-workers. They changed how they saw things and found new drive. Being grateful isn't just about noticing and appreciating the big things that happen in your life. It's also about noticing and appreciating the little things that happen every day that make you happy and fulfilled. This shift in focus from lack to abundance can have big effects on your mental and emotional health. For example, a friend who had envy would constantly compare themselves to other people on social media. By practicing gratitude, they started to see and appreciate the unique things about their own life, which made them feel better about themselves and lessen their feelings of not being good enough. Adopt this Stoic concept and remember that being grateful is a powerful way to build a strong and positive mind. It helps you see how rich your life is and find happiness in the present. Being thankful every day makes you stronger emotionally, which makes it easier to let go of things that don't serve you anymore and focus on what does. Become more grateful by stopping every day to think about what you're thankful for. Practicing gratitude not only makes you feel better, but it also brings you inner peace and satisfaction. As you make it a habit, you'll find more joy and be better able to handle life's challenges. Grace and strength. Accept this practice and let gratitude keep you in the present, letting go of the past and looking forward to the future with hope and optimism. As we explore the wisdom of Stoic philosophy, embracing ideas like detachment, gratitude, and self-care, we unlock the potential for a more resilient and fulfilling life. By setting healthy boundaries, reframing our thoughts, and living in the present moment, we build a foundation of inner strength and independence. Remember that emotional freedom isn't about cutting ties with people or not caring about them. It's about living a balanced, self-assured life where your happiness comes from within. We hope these 10 rules have given you useful information and actionable steps to help you live a happier, more peaceful life. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and click the bell icon to never miss an update. Also, please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear how these principles are making a difference in your life. Thanks for watching. Stay strong, be aware, and know that you have the power to find true happiness.